All right. Red light's on. Still waiting for Dizzle. I figured we'd all just get in here and get rolling. Just had a members only live, so pardon me and the crew for being a little bit late here. Dizzle should be joining. All right. We have a red light, but I don't see anybody in here yet, which I see lots of chatting. Make sure this works before we start talking.
Ah, there's the comments.
Doesn't show we're live. Chat, let me know. Are we live? Can you all see me? Because I have 0 numbers.
There it goes, I think.
There we go. Yep. Okay. Well, what is happening, Ephesian friends? Tonight, man, we are just talking cold water fishing, hanging out. I've got Nate on. Nate is a subscribed Ephesian friend. Like I said, I just had a members only and invited folks to hop on over if they want to join the members or join me for a live. So I guess one of the small perks, if you call it a perk of being a member, is to join me for this. I know I'm nobody famous, but I don't know. People think it's cool. I had a lot of people saying that would be fun to do it. So try to do these more. Try to do the members only more for the members like I was talking about. And for everybody else, like I said, you don't need to be a member. You don't need to pay anything extra. Just watching my regular videos, giving a thumbs up, comment is more than enough. But like the members, so awesome buddy Chris Morgan made that. It's metal, completely metal. He had it cut out of metal, painted it, and put the LED lights on behind it. Freaking awesome. So I'm gonna have to find a spot to get that mounted. Otherwise, it might just live there for my lives. It actually looks kind of cool there. I need a different color background for it, though.
Yeah, it looks good right next to the on-air sign.
Yeah, actually, it's perfect right in this area that's kind of dead. So, yeah. So tonight, cold weather fishing. There's Mr. Randall. Hey, guy.
Word up.
What up? So, cold water fishing. So, like I was saying in members only, I am gearing up for some ice fishing. Tomorrow, going to be getting out on the ice. Actually, old Greg, going up to meet Greg Randall.
Nice.
Fish up at a Backbone, I guess is what we're going to hit up.
Is
Try
it still
that.
iced over?
Yeah, he's got a pond up there that he fishes. So, we're going to try hitting that. So, we'll see. Hopefully, there's some fish there. Trying to get all my stuff ready. I still have to get the rest of the stuff ready after this. Otherwise, cold water fish. So let's start off with that because I know we have a lot more people that fish probably cold water than ice that watch me. So, Chip, I was eating a chip beforehand. So we're just going to kind of go round robin. We'll talk about some things that we have confidence in. Nate was saying before that cold water fishing really isn't his strong point. So maybe this will help. Just like anybody else, maybe it's not your strong point. Or you don't normally do it. Hopefully, we can spark some ideas for you. Give you the itch to get out, because I'm telling you, I was just out the last open water trip, cold, super windy, and had a great day catching some good fish. A 3.5, 4.5, some 2s.
Was that the one with the jig?
With the jig, yep. The Randizzle special. Dizzle, did you see that one?
I did.
Had to shout out the old Dizzle. That's the Dizzle rig, the War Eagle, and a plastic on it. But cold water. So we're going to go round robin. Dizzle, cold water like this. So, for us, when I'm looking at cold water, once we kind of start getting into those low 50s, to me is cold water fishing. Then it's starting to dip down into the 40s. It's going to be, for us, icing up soon. And it can all go super quick because then you get, it seems like right before fall, you get a bunch of bad weather, crazy wind, rain, storms going through. So we might still have open water, but, for somebody like me, that works, you've only got limited time to fish it. You can't, just cherry pick the good days. It's like, oh, I'm free now, and it's 87 mile an hour winds and rain. So, it might be a few weeks of that and it's done. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Cold water fishing for anybody else, obviously Florida,
those bums.
Yeah, Texas, I'm sure you all have it different, but that's kind of what I'm talking about. So anybody that's kind of experiencing that, Dizzle, what is one of your go-tos? For
honestly, this time of year always takes me back to the years back. This was before you and I, Debo, actually started fishing together again. But we would actually, me and old Johnny, and actually his dad too, we would get out, we'd take the boat out, and we would go and take a crappie trip. And honestly, a little tiny little crappie set up. We would even float some minnows on a slip bobber for crappie. But as far as like bank fishing and things like that, for me this time of year, I always look at the river, and I'm looking at throwing
Yep.
cranks like square bills and things like that along the sun-baked side, assuming I can get to that side of the river, the warmer side of the river, I guess. So square bills, things like that. Maybe a
Okay.
DT4
I like it.
and a jig.
And a jig. Throw the jig. Nate, how about you? Cold water. What are you picking up?
Recently, the float and fly, and I just kind of destroyed this plastic trying to rig it up, but I want to try this year. It's the Great Lakes Finesse, the hover minnow.
Oh yeah.
Or not the hover minnow, the whatever the small minnow is, but it's called the
I
Cindy
can
rig.
bring it up here.
I kind of just ripped it apart rigging it up, but basically just on a tiny little ball head jig, and you're basically just straight reeling it back with like very little to no action. But that's something that I'm going to try here tomorrow, actually. So,
Nate, it sounds like you need some mend it.
Some mend it, yeah.
Shameless plug.
Here, I'll grab a good one to rig it up.
Hey, this would be a perfect time to talk about mend it. Are you tired of ripping your plastics, falling in the water? Not I gave Randy the micro pocket size. You can keep that in your little change pocket in your jeans, so you've always got to mend it with you.
I think it's empty.
I think the other one's dried out, yeah, so it might be. Just keep it in your pocket for good luck.
Yeah.
I've never actually used mend it. Is it really that good?
It's amazing. Yeah. If you're really into like frogs, for sure, like soft body frogs, things like that, works amazing if you have like pike and toothy critters around that like to tear them up.
Great for any sort of Z-Man or not Z-Man, Yamamoto plastic, that kind of is a one and done. Just save your pile. Like when I was talking with Wendell about, he does the O-ring on top of his Yama Tanuki or whatever. Okay, yeah, so just a little ball-headed jig with that plastic on it. The drop minnow.
Tail just like barely kind of flickers behind it. And you just reel it straight, basically, is what they say. I don't know. I'm gonna try it.
Okay, hey, yeah, I like it, man. You gotta experiment. Gotta expand the horizon sometime.
And then that and a little small underspin usually.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, these things are kind of cool. I had some. I was going to try them on the drop shot this year. Never did. I did throw the drop shot more, though, so I was proud of myself. I'm trying to think. What else did I... Oh, the Hellgrammite. I did throw the Hellgrammite one day and caught quite a few on that.
Not a snapping turtle.
Not a snapping turtle on it. These are the smaller ones, but yeah, it does look really cool on a drop shot. BFS drop shot would be great for that if you're into that stuff.
I caught a bunch of smallmouth on that earlier this year.
Drop shot or Ned rig?
Both. I was doing both of them. I had both rigged up. I just was swapping back and forth between the rods, and they kind of bit both of them. So I guess they were just biting that day.
Peyton, that's going to be mine. Once it starts to get really cold, I've always had confidence in a Ned rig. Like one of the things that always works, most of the vegetation and stuff has died out. And that's one of the things that when people ask, what are you doing early season or late season? It's kind of that cool time where a lot of, if you're going out early, to ponds or lakes, stuff that might be grassy, if you have that early in the year, it doesn't have all that yet. So you can throw those treble hook baits and get to the places that you couldn't fish, in the summer in early spring. Of course, once summer comes around, you might have the bank places that are all grown up, or, the lake's full of vegetation and such. Kind of the same thing again towards the end of the year. A lot of that'll die out, get real sparse. Kind of pushes off away from the bank. So you can kind of throw some of that different stuff. So even if you have a place that, maybe you couldn't always throw a Ned rig, fall might be a time to do it. But yeah, of course, if you have any rocks or anything, sling that baby. Rocky points, anything that's going to hold heat longer, could be docks, could be wood. I didn't have good luck fishing wood later in the year this year, but sometimes it is. Rocks were the deal this season for me later on, rocky points. But yeah, the Ned rig for me, and the thing I've got a video set up to do it. I was going to film that one last week, didn't. But I'm going to talk about some Ned rig stuff, kind of some Ned rig mistakes / tips, because to me, the Ned rig has kind of evolved and is a little bit different than when it first kind of came out and was all, the rage with a Ned, TRD on it. So just kind of some stuff that I've learned to hopefully help people. Not that there's really a wrong way to fish a Ned rig. I mean, you can throw that thing about anywhere and catch stuff, but hopefully just some tips that'll help people. But yeah, Ned rig for me has to be up there. As we're going around, we can go through some other ones too if you want. But I was going to say for me, probably the second one, which didn't perform at all this year for me, that I would usually put money on, is a suspending jerkbait.
Really?
I didn't have an amazing suspending
Really?
jerkbait day at all. Yeah. Nope. I don't know if it was because the days I went out, it was too windy and the water was kind of dirty. I didn't fish any places that were extremely clear. Yeah, spring was good and I had quite a few good spring jerkbait days, but fall, nope, didn't ever get on that good fall bite. And it seems like usually there's always a day in the fall where it's like a 20, 30 fish day. Isn't usually size, but I mean, once you find them kind of stacked, it's just boom, boom, boom. And I never got that this year. So kind of sucked, but I still have a ton of faith in it.
Kind of been the same for me. I couldn't buy a bite on a jerkbait in the fall, but yeah, same spring. It was like the first bait that they were hitting over and over.
Parrot Head said I was casting around the ice today. Man, dedicated, casting in and around the ice to find them fish. Almost 3 years, Scott. Holy crap, 35 months. Thanks, Ebo, for all you do and to share with us. I am more than happy to share. Like I've said so many times before, I don't know everything, but I'm happy to share everything that I know. So if it helps people out, which still blows my mind, the number of people have said, hey, thanks for showing this. You've helped me out with this. Like, I'm just a guy who likes to fish. So,
hey, Debo, real quick. The Ned, sorry to interrupt you. The Sloth was asking about fishing Ned rigs. Tried said, how do you fish it? I tried it last week and I feel like I was reeling it too fast, but I'm wondering how you do it. It's you got to try all of the combinations. How I say, kind of with jigs as well. I mean, there's no right answer to the situation. Debo, you could probably speak a little bit more to it because you fish Neds way more than what I do.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm going to talk about is people, like a lot of the people that will crap on the Ned rig are the same guys or gals who will throw a jig. And it's like, oh, I don't ever throw a Ned rig. That's stupid. But I throw a jig and it's like, I'm basically fishing a Ned rig the same I do a jig. It's just a really downsized finesse, in those smaller lakes where you don't have those big bass, because, the jig is a big fish lure. It certainly is. Randizzle's outfished me. I don't know how many times with it. But those times where they're just a little bit finicky, it's kind of a finesse bite. It might be really pressured waters, those spots where, maybe a 3-pounder is the biggest fish you've got in a lake. Something like that. It just catches numbers, gets your confidence up, and can completely change a day. But yeah, I mean, I'm basically fishing it like I do a jig. I'm just slow hopping it. I'll drag it, hop it.
I would say also, if you're not getting bit on it and you feel like you're in a pretty fishy spot, sounds silly, sounds stupid. People may look at you kind of weird. Literally, I will tell myself out loud to slow down. Be like, slow down, slow down, slow down, like over and over again, just to make myself slow down. You probably were fishing it maybe a little bit too fast. Definitely need to keep that in mind.
Yeah, the amount of times with the Ned rig, you'll just like leave it there, go to adjust something, like pull up your pants or something, you go back and you have a fish swimming away with it. It's
kind of like a jig. Like if you get a like a backlash and you have to cut your line and you have to take that line off, but your jig's still in the water and you hand line it in. There's a fish on there.
Yep, Dizzle's done that. And that was the day. It might have been one of the days I was ready to throw my GoPro off and be done. I was going to say something else about that.
That was amazing.
Oh, the pause. Yeah, the pause is almost like a way of working a bait. So when people are so focused on how do I work it, what action is right, the pause is almost as important as how you're working it, if that makes sense. So like, let's say walking the dog. Well, how do you walk the dog? People say, how do you get bit on walking the dog at topwater bait? Is it real fast? Is it, wide? It's just like that. That pause is part of working that is just as important to get bit. So yeah, what Randy was saying is, slowing down, you might be putting the exact action in it, but if you're only letting it sit there for a second and going again, it might be let it sit there and soak 10, 20 seconds before you move it. And they might be just sitting there nosing up to it, just like, you know, when you see ice fishing, they'll just be
Mhm.
right on it, and then you start to move that jig up just a little bit and they grab it. Same thing with a Ned rig, you know, it's just sitting there waiting. As soon as it just gives a little bit of a movement after sitting there, or yeah, like Nate was saying, it's just sitting there soaking, and you go to pull your rod up and there's already one that's got it. It's just a real light bite in that cold water. That bite will be real light a lot of times.
And the really heavy, like floating ones, like the Crush City or the Z-Man ones, like that helps a lot. I feel like in the winter, just because it will actually stay there, giving a little bit of action.
Michael, open water, cold weather gloves. I tried Sims wool, but hookup was 5-to-1 hook myself. Yeah, I've never used the Sim ones. Oh dang it, that's what else I had.
Oh,
That'll be in the giveaway tonight. Somebody else that wears a size large glove. I don't know how we're gonna do this. I hate doing that on the giveaways because then it's, if they don't wear it, I don't want them to go to waste, I guess is the thing. So I might have to think of a way. But anyway, I bought from Spro. I don't know if they still have them on sale. I bought some windproof, waterproof gloves from them. Super nice. But I'm an extra large. And by the dimensions, it looked like the large was going to fit me, but no, too small. So I should have ordered the extra large. I ended up ordering, actually, if you're wanting to know, Michael, really liking these thus far. I haven't actually got out and caught fish with them, but just had them out messing with them. They are.
are you wanting to share?
No, I'm getting to the website. Striker Gear. Is that it? What? Striker Gears. No. They had the Black Friday sale, Cyber Monday, whatever the hell it was. They've got a Coors Light suit. Are you kidding me? Let me present here. It's interesting. Yeah, right there. Are those the fish monkeys?
Yep, they are.
Wool ones?
These are.
Yeah.
These are a little bit warmer weather, but they're fish monkey. They're really
wool.
nice. Yeah. Wool gloves like these normally they don't fit very snugly. They're not very secure filling when you put them on. These almost have like an inner, like, I don't know, an inner glove basically that's extra snug. And the palms have, I don't know if you can really tell, but these little dots and things on them.
Oh, for like grip.
Yep.
Yeah, these fit true to size. This is what I just got. They're wind, weather, waterproof. I don't know, what do they say? Waterproof, breathable, good dexterity. Yeah, that's the thing for me, is a lot of the gloves where they're like real like baggy, I guess, for lack of other word, where it's like the fingers are real like bulky in them. These fit super tight, waterproof. So that's the other thing too, is if you have really nice gloves and they're not waterproof, as soon as you land a fish or two, they're soaking and then your hands are all cold. One of the advantages, I guess, to going wool, but you're right, you hook yourself. I don't know if there's a perfect answer to this. I mean, you're still probably going to hook yourself in this stuff, but they're not neoprene. I've had some of those, which do work really well, but these are not neoprene. They're like a mix. It's like I don't even know what to say. It's not rubbery. It's like I don't even know. But so far, I really like these. Otherwise, they're not waterproof, but I've got some fish monkeys that I like. And
those
there's
the ones
another
that
one.
Fingers flip.
Yeah, the fingers
the
flip
index
on them.
and the thumb.
Mm-hmm.
I will say Debo doesn't ever believe me, but I personally like when specifically out ice fishing or really doing anything outside when it's super cold, to put a pair of like nitrile like rubber gloves on, and those will keep your hands super warm to the point where they're kind of sweaty. And then you can put a thinner glove over top. You know, I've worn just the nitrile gloves ice fishing before, taking my regular gloves off, and you still have the dexterity if you get the right size. But I like a really good brand is Venom. Debo, I think you use those nitrile gloves, right?
Yeah, I like those. That's the ones I use for painting.
And those are true waterproof.
Yeah. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah. Then the outside of the glove can get all wet and your
Mm.
hand inside is nice and warm.
I got these gloves
Mhm.
that Punch Fishing actually recommended. They're the
Hmm.
Blackfish. They're
Hmm.
pretty similar to the ones that you just showed. But
Mhm.
yeah, they're pretty nice. They're pretty much the same though. So
Nice.
just different brand.
Yeah, I'm sure there's. My thing is I would just recommend get something that fits a little tighter, if you
Mhm.
can get waterproof, because it kind of defeats the whole purpose once you get them wet. And I'm guilty of it too. I mean, I'll wear them until I get them wet, and then they're cold, and I take them off, and I don't
Mhm.
have gloves. So
I do also like the fish monkey logo too. It's really cool.
yeah, they do have a cool logo.
Mm.
AFCO breakwater waterproof gloves seem pretty nice. I want to say I looked at those. I don't have much AFCO stuff. I found some shorts on sale that I really like that I used last year, but I have not got much AFCO stuff.
The AFCO like sun shirts are very, very comfortable.
I think I have one of those too. Let's share. Outerwear. Oh, I guess it'd be hat and accessories. Oh no, fishing gloves. Oh, so anyway, what else I was going to say too is Spro has the bibs on sale too.
Oh,
So if you guys are looking for regular what like rain windproof bibs, they have the regular and then the insulated. That's the ones I was wearing in my last video, those gray ones, and I really like them. So hopefully they hold up. I had the frog togs before that, the blue camo that everybody made fun of, but they held up great and I loved them. So which ones? Is it the breakwater? Is that the one? Whoever that was, yeah, Patrick. Yes, the breakwater. So they look kind of similar, that same material. I don't know what that is, but it's like a, what does it say? I don't know, but yeah, it doesn't feel. It's not like a cotton. It feels like maybe it's just because it has the membrane in it. It feels a little bit different, but yeah, kind of the same deal. What
I
else? What else we got?
just on the glove topic still, I actually found a pair that I really really like actually. They are these aren't the warmest ones, but these are ironclad Exos. These are their operator gloves. So if you
Oh,
do any kind of thing like that, they are super. They're like straight up OJ type of gloves, not really isotoners, but they fit super super snugly, and you have great dexterity too. I'm kind of bummed out because I just realized that the right-handed glove has a finger in the hole, or a hole in the finger. I will say these gloves are also
save that talk for the after show.
8 years old. Huh? What?
And what were those NRS gloves, Nate?
no, they're the Blackfish tackle.
Oh,
I think it's
Blackfish.
not Blackfish
Somebody said
tackle, but
NRS ones. I thought those were the. Let's
those
look at
ones
these
look
real quick.
nice. The NRS. I've always had this one, so
Men's gloves.
I think they used to have them on Omni. I just looked though, not anymore.
Hydro skin. Those look nice. Yeah, see how they fit tight. That was my mistake. Was anybody that says fishing and gloves sucks? You are correct if you have like those baggy gloves, like the real padded, like where you can't, like you don't have dexterity in your fingers.
Like your old school kid like snow gloves from back in the day.
Yeah, where they're real thick and you can't feel anything. I also hated them until I moved to something like this. I forget what the other ones are. I had another pair. That was my very first pair that I got that I actually really liked. And then I got those Fish Monkey. They're for like not as cold. They're more of like a fallish spring because they're not super warm, but just enough to kind of keep the chill out. Then going on to something like this. But yeah, I like those. Those look really nice. What are they? Nylon spandex exterior. Maybe that's what it is. Nylon spandex mix. Yeah, those look really nice. $39. That's not bad. What was they had another one here too. Cove gloves. Those look fancy. Oh, those aren't. Those are just warm weather glove. Never mind. So yeah, it looks like the hydro skin if you're looking at those. Okay, what else? Cold water fishing, jerk bait, Ned rig, jig, of course, like Dizzle said. Lipless can be sneaky good. Lipless has been one that surprised me. Loved lipless in the spring. I love a lipless bite as the kind of the fall weather's dropping. But one thing that's always surprised me is when I get on a really good lipless bite, when you think it's too cold and you're starting to, burn it, and you start getting bites. I don't know how many times, especially early spring, where I'm like, oh, the water's still, in the 40s, I need to be fishing slow. I don't know what it is about a lipless, but I've had multiple days like that where I start burning a lipless around and you just boom, boom, boom. And you're like, it's too cold. They shouldn't be hitting something like this, even after I've fished like a spinner bait, all these other things, that it's got to be that tight wobble, that sound to it.
Agree.
But
100%.
those are kind of my cold. If you guys have questions, let me know. I'm behind on comments, 750.
I mean,
I'm going to skip ahead, but we're going to talk some ice stuff too. So we're going to mix in ice talk.
I would even consider like a slow rolling spinner bait too.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. And the number of people picking up a chatterbait too.
I'll fish a chatterbait all year long.
Yeah, I
Really?
kind of put it down after a while.
Yeah, I don't fish it into the December, but I know I was talking to some guys near me last year, and they were catching them in dirt shallow in January with chatterbaits. They won a tournament on a local lake here, doing that, just
Were
dirt
they
shallow
jigging
with a
them?
chatterbait.
Like hitting?
No, just straight retrieving.
Wow.
Oh, hey, real quick before you go into that thought there, Debo. How about everybody just take one real quick fast second and click that like button. I'm seeing 86 likes. It's easy, it's simple, it's fun. Makes Debo happy. Everybody wants to make Debo happy.
Yeah. Hey, it's free. It's just a quick click, help old Debo out. YouTube don't want to promote me. YouTube's like, who's this nerd? Talks about fishing. We'd rather promote people that do stupid challenges and things like that are harassing people at malls and that kind of crap.
And have real beards instead of fake ones.
Yeah. People with real beards. Let's see. 757 chick. Yes, correct. It's basically a wetsuit on your hands. They are very nice. If you've not had them, complete different deal once you go out and your fingers aren't frigidly cold the whole time. Where somebody asked about, bass. Both, man. I still don't have an exact time when I fish one over the other. People I've heard say the one knocker mimics craws better. It's better on pressured lakes. I think it just depends on the mood. I've fished both, and I still don't know that I can say this always works better in this and this works better here.
So I heard Jacob Wheeler. I actually kind of fished the same lakes he grew up fishing, same area. But he was talking about where he was fishing one time. His buddy was fishing a one knocker, and he was fishing a normal rattle. This was crankbaits, but kind of the same thing, I guess. But his buddy was just slamming them over and over. He wasn't catching anything, and he switched to the one knocker and just started smashing them. So maybe just in lakes where everyone's throwing liplesses, you try a one knocker or something. Because not very many. That's not the popular thing. So
yeah, I rock with the one knocker, but much more. Yeah, have both. Yep. Yeah. I was gonna say a lot of people when they say they're fishing around rocks, they throw the one knocker more too. It's supposed to sound like a crawfish, I guess, rattling around the rocks more. I don't know, but
Paco Wash just said old school number 4 MEPS.
Yeah, another slept on one. Absolutely.
Yeah.
For me, it was always a rooster tail. I didn't know there was anything else that existed besides rooster tails.
They're all rooster tails, Debo.
Yeah.
Just like chatterbait. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I lived on the rooster tail too.
What are some good chatterbaits? Sloth. Actually, that's a really good question because now that whole thing's going to blow open. You've already seen, or we've already seen.
Mm-hmm.
So the patent ended with Z-Man. So if I share here, I already see there's a couple new ones out. Patent ended with Z-Man. So Z-Man had a patent on any blade connected directly to the lure, to the eye of the lure. So, I did see these the other day. Not that I need any more KBD 1.5, especially for $10. But they do have some really
Is that
cool
a new
colors
color?
with some of these. Yeah, these are the new
What is
KBD
that?
Pros. The new
Ooh.
It
KBD
looks
Elite.
really good.
Yeah, they come out with a lot of the companies are doing this that look more like the custom, the stuff that you see custom
Yeah.
painters and stuff throwing out, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, not for the custom painters, I guess, but it's cool to see, the companies kind of changing some of this stuff up and mixing it. But I don't know. Anyway, I did see those and was looking at them and I was like, ooh, they got some good looking stuff. Anyway,
Ooh, that was a good color.
let's see. What were we looking at? I just completely lost train of thought.
Chatterbaits.
Oh, Chatterbaits. There we go.
I'm a big fan
Bladed
of the
jigs.
jackhammers, but if you don't want to spend the money, Chatterbait Customs, super good.
Agreed. Evo now too, especially
Yeah.
if you can find those Evos on sale. I think they're really close to the jackhammer.
Yeah.
Good components. So example here, Hags coming out with the only Hags lure I've ever known about is the Hags Tornado. And now out of left field, they're coming out with a Chatterbait essentially, right? Connected
That's
directly
literally
to
the jackhammer head, yeah.
Yeah. So we're seeing companies like that. I saw somebody had the old Roadrunner. Oh, right here. Tree Shaker Tackle, David Dudley. So this is the old like Roadrunner head, right?
With
That
the
used to have the
underspin,
little,
yeah.
Yep, the little underspin. They've got a Chatterbait version of it. Okay, connected directly to the head. So we're going to see a whole bunch of these kind of spilling out. $18. I didn't notice that. Holy crap!
Jiminy crickets.
I didn't notice that was what was the other one? Oh yeah, $6.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't, what the hell makes that one? Is it tungsten? No, it's got to be tungsten, right?
That's more expensive than the jackhammer.
Yeah.
No. Wow.
What's the what's the one, Debo, that we talk about all the time? The Chatterbait. Is it the Stealth?
Stealth? Yeah, I think still that's one that's slept on. Yeah, it's got a clear
That-
bait.
Yeah, that would probably work great in the wintertime just because the less vibration maybe.
Subtle. Yep. Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
tried it. That's a good point. But I know a lot of people will go to in the colder water or pressured spots the new Mini Max. A lot of people rave about that one. I haven't put as much time as I should, but it was good for me. Was it this spring or last spring? I think it was last spring. I caught quite a few on it. A white one, all white one with a cut down little zoom fluke on the back. But yeah, the Evos I've really liked. Here's the new tungsten one they have out. So if you want something a little more compact, but just stuff like this. So yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with any of the Z-Mans. I think they're all solid. But it's interesting to see what's going to start happening with some of these companies, what they're going to start kicking out with that patent going.
So kind of an off the wall one that's actually worked for me pretty good is the Picasso shock blade. Chatterbaits.
Tackle Junkie really likes that one. Yeah.
They work pretty well too. I actually caught my PB on one of those.
Oh, nice.
What was the one, Debo? Again, I'm really good with names of lures. That never ran straight once you threw a trailer on the back of it. We both tried them this a couple years back.
Oh god, that Mustad one was awful. Yeah, Mustad had one that was just horrendous. Booyah had one too that was awful. The Booyah. I tried a lot of them and they didn't work. And I love Booyah, don't get me wrong, but it just never ran. They did not work for me. I forget what it was. A question, Bass. Will we see Dizzle and a Yak in 2025? If by chance I were to be able to drag Dizzle up with me to Minnesota at that kayak fishing thing, I don't know if that's the time to get his butt wet and in a kayak, but Gramps might have an extra.
What'd you just say to me?
To get your
I don't feel comfortable in this conversation anymore.
Come along with me, Dizzle.
Can you just mute me and make my screen go?
Gramps has an extra one fit for big guys, so maybe I can bring Dizzle with me and get him in a yak for the first time. We'll see. let's see what else. What do we have any ice fishing questions? I know some people wanted to talk ice fishing setup. Keeping it super simple tomorrow. The Vex, a bucket, my padded bucket seat, combo or two, and that's it.
Not
Film
even
it,
a tent.
have fun. Not even my hut. Nope, not bringing the hut. It's supposed to be like 50 tomorrow.
Just
So
50, yeah.
That's not bad.
oh my gosh, and the girls just gave it away. 68 to 75. Wow. Come on, girls. So yeah, super run and gun type deal on a small pond. I was telling people I get to try out my the drill Strike Master drill bit for my my drill. I've never used one, or I've used Dad's, but I've never had one. So no. Dave,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, crazy enough, something just as simple and as tiny as this is an amazing like hack, I guess you would say. It's a UV light for ice
like
fishing.
glow lures.
Yep.
Charging your
a lot
jigs,
of the lot of the tungstens that I fish with all have like one of them's called like Wonder Bread. So if you envision the Wonder Bread package, so it's all white and then it's got polka dots all over it. Those, I mean, I have quite a few of those that have that glow in the dark. You can get simple, easy. This one is Police Security brand, and it will let you know that this will help you spot automotive leaks, bodily fluids, blood, and scorpions.
Scorpions.
Don't bring that with us on our
leaving.
trip to Minnesota. You won't need it at all.
Yeah,
Ice
glow in the
scorpions.
dark.
Yeah, I would not ever put scorpions in your bunk. Bass for Dave. That'll be a story for next week. Hang on for that for next week. Some information behind the DEBO crankbaits over at Monster Bass. It was a long time in the making. Honestly, I had forgot about it. I didn't even think it was going to happen. And it just kind of all unfolded in the last few months. So I think I'll be hopping on a live with them next Wednesday or Thursday, whenever they go live, to talk about them. But yeah, pretty cool opportunity. I didn't ever think it would come to fruition. So more to come on that soon. Be tuned next week.
A little collab.
Little collab. Yep. Had the opportunity to paint some baits, and they were able to produce them on their side. So pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Bass Hole NH asked a question at 8:14. How do you get started ice fishing if you don't have any friends that do it? Honestly, I remember when I first started ice fishing, it literally was, I got a 5-gallon bucket. I was lucky enough to have a buddy that did have an auger, but all you really need is, a small ice fishing rod, a bucket, an auger, and a scoop. You don't need flashers, cameras, things like that. Obviously, it helps you quite a bit. Otherwise, you're just kind of blind fishing. When I first started, we didn't have flashers, and we would go on bodies of water that we would fish during like summer, spring, fall, whatever. And we knew where like the brush piles were, or the different drop offs and rock piles and things like that. And we would go there. So basically you just use your knowledge from, open water fishing and get out there.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, and no, it doesn't have to be. There's some people saying, ice fishing looks fun but expensive. A lot of people saying just why? Because we have frozen water. So you either don't fish for, a few months, or you do this. I will say there's very few times I say game changers, but getting a hut, if you are seriously going to get into it, I mean, you can find huts on sale. You could find one used. A lot of people sell their huts used. But once you get in a hut and get a little heater buddy heater for, what are they? You can get those on sale, $60. I mean, I take my coat off. I'm sitting in there with just my sweatshirt on, my bibs, and it's hot. You have to open up the air vents. It gets so hot in there. So complete game changer getting a hut.
The last time that we went, Debo, I forgot my bibs back in Waterloo, and we were 2 hours north when we went with your old man. And, it was chilly walking out to where we were going to fish, but shoot, pull that tent over and turn the heater on, and like Debo said, it gets warm in there.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be expensive. I mean, really, so like let's say you don't want to get a hut, and if you're okay in the cold, I hate cold. I absolutely despise the cold. So it's like I'll spend a little extra money to be comfortable the entire time. My old man fishes outside of his hut half the time anyway and doesn't even use it. And he's like, "Oh, I'm not." I'm like, "Dude, I am freezing my balls off, my strawberries off, and I don't want to be." He's like, "Oh, I'm not cold." Oh, shuffling around, he loves it. So I am definitely not that type. I want to be warm. So try to find one used. But after that, I mean, you really only need a flasher. You might already have one on your boat, that you can flip over to ice fishing with a transducer is all you'd have to buy. A lot of guys do that, or you get just like a Vexilar, like the old school flashers is still what I use. Again, find those on sale for a couple $100. The camera, I do have an underwater camera. That's definitely expensive. It's
and that's something you don't need, but
yeah,
it's
don't
fun.
need it. Yeah, it's fun, but it is expensive. You definitely don't need that starting out. And just a couple poles. And I mean, you don't burn through jigs. It's not like you're getting hung up all the time. Once in a while.
If you're fishing heavy brush piles, yeah.
Yeah, but mostly you just need a couple jig heads, a few plastics, get some live bait, some
bait
spikes.
puck.
Yeah, a little bait puck, and I mean that's it. Some good cleats for your boots helps a ton. Yeah. If you don't already have ice fishing boots or like cold weather specific boots, hands down without a doubt, get them. My toes always get cold. I bought some of the I don't even remember the brand, but they're like rated for like -50 below or whatever, like ice fishing boots. Complete difference. I mean, my feet don't really. After a whole day, they do a little bit, but for most of the time, not cold.
One thing that you can also do, if you are, one that gets cold toesies like Debo over here, you can take a piece of like the insulation foam, like say the pink foam that's like half
the puzzle
inch or
mats.
an inch. Yep. And put that down underneath your feet. It doesn't have to be a huge piece of it. Just something as you're sitting, look down at your feet and be like, oh, I need one that's, I don't know, 3 feet by 1.5 feet or something like that. Not even that big. And that insulates your feet from, actually being directly on the ice, which will keep them warmer longer also.
JT, man, I've got a few. I don't have like a single go-to. I will say the free fall, the 13 fishing free fall, it's got like a little trigger on it. It's a round reel. So instead of the open face reels where you have to like peel line off, for me, that's been awesome. Again, I fish in a hut. It can kind of freeze up if you fish outside when it gets cold, then kind of be a pain in the butt. But if you're fishing in a hut, I mean, those are awesome. You just pull the trigger, it drops your line down, you let off of it, and it stops it right there. So that for me, once I got one of those, was awesome. Yeah, I mean, I've got. What's that?
I was gonna say Randy Sully summed up my ice fishing. He said my ice fishing consists of watching Debo ice fish. Same here.
Yeah, and a lot of people that's they don't get to do it at all. So live vicariously through me. I know I'm not one of the North guys that's super popular with it. Some guys' channels, man, just blow up on ice fishing, but I'm pretty average when it comes to ice fishing. So take you along for the adventure. It's more just fun, and eating fish off the ice is the best. Cold water fish, you don't have to worry about them going bad. I've got a little live well thing. I forget who makes it, but it's after you drill your hole, it's got a little live well. You throw it in there, so they're in the water, they're alive, they're not frozen solid. Then you can just take that whole thing out and throw them in your truck because it's kind of a pain in the butt to clean them when they're completely froze, completely hard and stiff. So I do like that, but eating cold water fish is just the best. So
it's even more fun to eat it on the ice.
I've still not done that yet. Because the last time, no, he didn't even cook, and we were out perch fishing. He was just eating perch over there from the bucket. I'm like, and I had swatted him with the fly swatter. Stop it! Get out of there!
You idiot.
Can you drive on the ice where you're at?
Yeah,
not yet, but yeah, once it gets thick enough, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I've seen pictures of like Mille Lacs and stuff. That's like a parking lot on the lake. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
The last time Debo and I went fishing, the place that we went, the parking lot was really nothing more than just like a turnaround or a boat launch, and there were more trucks and SUVs out on the lake than the could have ever fit in the actual parking lot.
That's ridiculous.
And just know that the ice is gonna make sounds. As long as it doesn't sound like a freight train, you're fine, from what I've been told.
I'd love to do something like that where you can just drive out, set up a nice tent with a TV, watch some football while you do it.
Mhm. They have those, pull behind trailer camper things, like, the miniature campers that they have ice or auger holes in. Usually those are from, like, uh, charters, is that what they're called? Somebody that takes you
Probably
out there, they have
expensive.
those big
Guide type
houses.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as far as safety, Victor, great point. I didn't even touch on this. Yeah, you need a spud bar, which is just your poker. So it's your, imagine like a big heavy metal walking stick to poke holes as you go. That way, as you're walking, you hit anywhere that's thin, stay away from that. And always remember, no ice is safe ice. Whenever
Mhm.
you go out, just assume that it's not safe and be careful. Even if there's trucks on it, even, especially if you're going somewhere else where there's nobody's been,
Mhm.
assume that it's bad ice. Yeah, your spud bar to check it as you're walking out, and your spikes. So they come on
Oh, yeah.
like a retractable thing or a bungee thing, 2 spikes in case you fall in, keep them around your neck, or guys will keep them on the end of their coats. In case you
Put 'em
fall in,
through the
you can,
sleeve.
yeah, um, pick yourself up out through the water. Cause once you get in there, you can't grab anything if you were to fall in. So the
Mhm.
spikes light is spike it in, kind of like the ice climbers do, with the cleats digging in with their feet, dig
Yep.
into that to help get yourself out.
Basically, it's like a grip of like a bike grip, like a bicycle grip, and it's got, like, a little cover on the end with a nail, essentially, on the very end of it. I've seen multiple people just make their own out of a dowel, pound a nail in, cut the head off, kind of sharpen it. I mean, it's crude, but it works just as good. I do also know that a lot of the ice specific bibs, ice fishing bibs, coveralls, like the whole 9, they're actually, um, they float as well. So if you do
Yeah.
happen to go in, they're a flotation device also.
That's
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
It's kind of expensive for a set. Find them on sale at the end of the year.
Mhm.
I mean, you might be looking at as low as $200 for. I think normally they're on sale for 150. So 150 for a bibs, 150 for a coat. So $300 is not cheap. But yeah, like Randy said, they're made for the cold. They're super durable. They
Mhm.
have like reinforced knees and stuff. So when you're getting up and down, those don't rip through. And yeah, it's float suit technology. So as long as you have both on, it'll help keep you up for, I don't remember how long. So you're not fighting to try
Mhm.
to stay up while you're getting out of the water.
They
So
will, however, they will burn if you get too close to your heater.
yes, I did get new bibs this year. A few years back, I was too close to my heater and burnt a huge hole in the side of my bibs and my leg. So yeah, that was good.
Rip.
Yeah, they don't float after you do that. So I was meaning to get some, and they did have them on sale, so I finally got some new ones. Yeah, so the float bibs, jacket.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. So what dog said he got his for under that? Perfect. Yeah, watch
Yep.
for deals exactly.
End of
So
the season,
250, 260.
I mean, until you can, find a cheap set, I mean, you can just wear whatever's gonna keep you warm enough. You don't have to get those. Obviously, they are a little bit safer. It gives you that little extra, um, peace of mind, but, I mean, for the longest time, I just had a pair of, like, Carhartt bibs that I would wear, and usually all I would wear
Bullseye.
is like a thermal long sleeve shirt and, a hoodie or 2.
Vincent, they usually recommend 4 inches. I know a lot of people say 3 inches is kind of the number. Yeah, I'm not messing with anything for sure under 3 inches. I know tomorrow with it starting to thaw, I think they said the pond was like 4 inches, but as long as we've got 3, I'm okay, going with somebody.
And
But
clear,
yeah, yep, clear, yeah,
clear ice.
clear good ice. Because what'll happen is you'll get the ice that's clear, and then as stuff melts and unmelts, you'll kick kind of the gray ice, the not safe stuff up top. So it could be
Mhm.
this thick out there when you drill through it, a foot, but it could be all the stuff that's froze, unfroze, that's not good up there, and you might only have, 3, 4 inches of actual good clear ice under it. So
Yeah, I've been out on it was maybe 3 inches of clear ice. It wasn't super deep where we were fishing. It was stupid for sure, but we were out there and it was, super, super clear and it was sketchy, but
Digs. Yeah, my extent of ice fishing. I don't do it. Tried it once. Watched the ice crack straight across the lake at 600 mile an hour. Freaked and flew off the ice, never to return. Yeah, it gets freaky. That Randy was saying it'll make weird noises. We were out there, me, him, and Dad.
Sounds like Star
And
Wars.
I was like, even my dad over there went, ooh.
Yeah.
Goat ice fishing snack or beverage. I don't really have like a goat. I usually have like a water and then either like a Powerade or a Coke or something with me. The nice thing is you don't have to worry about keeping stuff cold on the ice. If it gets warm in your hut, just set it outside for a couple minutes. Snack. I'm a big granola bar guy. You can just throw them in your pocket. They're not messy.
Or beef sticks.
Yeah, beef sticks are good. Beef jerky. I don't like beef jerky, but
trail mix is always good.
Trail mix.
And regardless to whatever snack you take out there, take it with you when you leave. Don't leave your damn wrappers all over the ice. Don't leave your bait puck when you get from the. Take it all with you. Come on now.
Yeah, take everything with you. No cans, no junk. Andrew, giveaway for tonight. I don't know. We've got one more giveaway. Then I promise next week I will get everybody's out. I said this week if I didn't, I was giving away a zillion. I lied. I'm not giving away my zillion, but I didn't get them out this week. But I'm taking a day off next week to make sure this all gets done. So I promise next week, be on the lookout. Anybody that wins, I will also ship you we'll send you an email of your shipping too, just so you know. But I've got everybody on the list. So tonight we'll do a giveaway. I don't know. I don't have anything special. Just be lures. Whoever wins can just kind of tell me. I do have those large Spro gloves, and maybe I'll save that for members where it's a little bit smaller group of people. But I got some of those Spro windproof, weatherproof, waterproof gloves that are a large. They're too small for me. So I was going to give those away since now is the time. Maybe I will do that and just see whoever wins if they're a large or not. Let's see. What do you recommend for starting lures for ice fishing? I would say, a couple jig heads in different sizes, like a real small, tiny one. And I don't even remember 154th or whatever those are. For like the super finicky stuff. So like bluegill, crappie, perch, when they're real picky, where they just want a real little tiny jig head and a little plastic. Then I'll go up to like, what size is that one here? Actually, we'll look at a cool one here. If you want to support local, well, I guess not local, sorry, but smaller mom and pop stores, I have ordered from Brian, super nice dude, and he makes some really cool stuff. He does drops because they are often sold out.
One other thing while DEBO'S looking that up, if you do have a hut, I recommend going to like Harbor Freight or something and get one of those like cheap hanging shop lights that have a hook on there, because as you're trying to tie like 1 or 2 pound fishing line on a 1/52 ounce jig head, it is frustrating.
So I would urge you all to support him. Super nice guy. I ordered from him. He actually sent me some extra stuff, but he makes a bunch of cool things. But that's what I was going to say. He went out of his way to send me a couple extra things because he'd watched the show and stuff before. It's actually these. And it's cool when people do that because I didn't put anything of like, hey, and I'm putting an order. Will you throw it? No, he just did it out of the good of being him. But not only that, he also made them Hawkeye colors. So they were black and gold, and sent me another one of these. But these are really cool because he does rabbit fur on them. So you don't even need like a trailer. It's these cool jigs that he does with this rabbit fur and like deer hair, marabou, something in the middle. Really, really cool. I had never, ever seen anybody doing anything like that before. So those, but the ice fishing stuff, I know he's really, actually, you know what? They'd have to ice fish. But anyway, so small jigs. So like, as Dizzle was saying, the ones that glow like this, you can charge them with your, your UV light. Oh, it doesn't say the weight.
Go to scroll down. No, 4 millimeter.
Yeah, 4 millimeter. So that's the size of it. I forget the weights on them, but there's different. You'll see them. There's like the real tiny ones, but I would say just get a few different sizes. And it's going to look super, super small. But for those days where they're picky, having the real tiny ones are really nice. Let me look at a different one. But anyway, yeah, he makes cool stuff. As far as colors, pink and like a chartreusey green, which this one's sold out, tend to do well. And this actually has both. I wasn't saying these colors together, but pink and or green. Wonder Bread is a big seller, which is a white. I don't know if he makes anything like that. White with like pink, blue, yellow dots on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a Wonder Bread, the package. But keep it simple. I mean, it's really just that, a little tiny ice plastic on the back, or live bait. I usually do a little bit of both and just kind of test it out. But that's the big one for me. There's spoons, there's little spinners and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Those little it almost looks like a lipless. Were they 6 cents? The little lipless with the one
those were
hook on the back.
fishing.
13 fishing, yeah.
Tiny ones from 13 fishing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he does great work. Really cool things. He makes all kinds of different colors. So check him out if you're looking for some custom stuff. A little more pricey, but look at the work he's putting into it, like look at these. Pink and purple glow to it with an eye on it. Look at that. He does some cool stuff. And he makes Ned rig. I don't know if he still makes
the EWG Ned rigs.
He does the EWG Ned rigs, and he ties his own keeper. So if you can see that there, he ties a little fluorocarbon keeper on it as well to help hold your plastic. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at the hair jigs, the crawl hair jigs. Those look nice. I might buy a couple for smallmouth fishing.
Nice. Debo, what millimeter were those?
Yeah, those are the ones I was talking about. Yeah, his hair jigs that he does.
Well, what was the millimeter on those, Debo?
4 millimeter was the small ones. And weight?
I just looked it up. It says 1/32. I don't know if that's universal.
That sounds about right.
Millimeter. Yeah,
probably. Yep. And then I would even go a size smaller than that to like a
3 millimeters, like 1/64.
There you go, 1/64. Yep. So for the super finicky days, that I would say the 1/32 or the size up, which would be like what,
16th.
16th probably. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They even go down to a 2 millimeter, which is 1/128th.
Oh Lord, no! I wouldn't even be able to see it to tie to it.
Right. I personally would also, this kind of goes against how we were saying earlier. You don't need fancy, super awesome stuff. Just give it a shot, get out there and try. But I would go with tungsten for my jigs, just because it's gooder than lead. No, you get a more compact size on them. Transfer the bite happens a lot better with them too. You could feel everything a lot more.
Makes sense.
Little Debbie's, people are saying snacks. Yeah, I don't know the last time I had a Little Debbie. What else we got? Okay, we're almost about an hour. I'll do a giveaway here in a second, then we'll answer a few more questions, just hanging out. People talking about different ice stuff. Little Smokies cooked in barbecue sauce on the snowmobile exhaust on the trip in.
I've heard of that.
That sounds amazing.
Sounds really good.
So just a real quick ice fishing story. When I was first out there with a bucket and an auger, just doing my thing, usually what you'll do is once you pop a hole, you'll drill a secondary hole that isn't all the way through the ice to keep your auger kind of standing up in there. Unbeknownst to me, my buddy I was out fishing with drilled a hole, and you kind of kick the shaved ice off to the side, and that tends to fill up other holes if you're popping a lot of holes around you. Just be aware of where those are, because I've stepped in a hole before, and I went in through the hole into the water, and it was probably I was wet about up to my knee.
Oh my
and that sucked. It scared the hell out of me. I was like, oh Lord.
Did you at least have the waterproof bibs?
No, what I did is I remember watching one of those stupid survival shows, and it's like, if you get wet, take whatever off that's soaking wet and just rub snow all over it to dry it off. That worked pretty well.
Good to know.
David asked at 8:36, is there special line? There is ice fishing line that does.
I just saw that one.
I don't know if it's how it's made, what extra additives are made in there, but it's supposed to help freezing.
Stop it from freezing on the line
Yep.
and the guides. Yep.
And
Yeah, I
usually it's
usually
fancy
use
colors too.
yeah, I usually ice is it ice mono or ice floor or whatever.
Mhm.
I've got one set up with the braid that I tie a little leader on, but that's kind of a pain in the butt with the real small line. So honestly, I've just gone 100% mono and fluoro with it that thin. It's usually not a huge coiling issue.
Mhm.
So I don't think you have to. Oh, that's actually another really good point. You want to be careful too. So talking about your combos, I would say 2 combos to start out with. One, like a really good ultralight for fishing those real small little jig heads on, super
Mhm.
soft. I mean, it's going to feel like it's nothing, but when you're out there fighting them, I mean, you've got more than enough. They're super strong to pull them through. But one setup ultralight like that with like 3-pound line on it, ice line, mono or fluoro, whichever you choose for the real finicky stuff, and then one like a light or whatever, something just a little bit heavier if you're fishing like the spoons, a little bit bigger jig heads. But that was a mistake that I had starting out, was not having a light enough one for those real small
Mhm.
jigs. Then you can't feel it, and it's just like what's down there, you don't know. So going with that real light rod, that real tiny tip, you can feel even the smallest jig moving up. So I would say starting with 2 at least.
They actually do make like a spring bobber that you add on to the end of your fishing
Strike
rod
indicator.
also. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a very thin piece of metal, or it's actually a spring that you run your line through, and that helps with seeing bites as well. I know the one thing that I had issues with, when I first started was setting the hook. It's a total different hook set from open water fishing to ice fishing. You're not pulling back and, like, setting the hook that way. It's more of like a straight up
It's just a lift.
lift
Yeah.
and kinda reel at the same time. That was one thing that kinda
Yeah, the
took
hooks are so
me.
small that they pierce in there
Mhm.
so easy.
Super ridiculously sticky, and you are, at some point in time, probably gonna take a little tungsten hook underneath your fingernail. It's gonna happen.
William, oh my gosh, I've got a video on this. It's coming soon. I've got the best and worst lures of the year, and I've got a few talked about, or a few lined up to talk about when that video comes out. So I would say stay tuned for that one. But I mean, the big ones, the Ricos, I finally got into those this year. They are very good for that real small cupped kind of mouth. That and
Mhm.
the Yellow Magics, people always raved about those, and I just never fished them. The poppers, the Rebel Pop R's, still great. The P71's a bigger popper, which I really like. Trying to think of some other ones that I use. The Excite Baits one, the Villain, I think it is another good small cup mouth one.
It's a little expensive, but the Megabass Pop X, it's like a smaller profile, kind of like the smaller Ricos. But
Okay. Yeah.
just the smaller profile poppers, I feel like do a lot of work for me.
Let's see. Let's look at this one real quick.
While you're pulling that up, Victor asked, Debo, do you use top ups? I'm assuming he's meaning tip ups. I've never used a tip up ice fishing before. I don't know if you have.
I've not got into it much. No, I fish out of my hut so much that I'm not a run and gun tip up guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I haven't much. I've had them with me and tried them. No luck on them. I know it'd be really fun to do for like walleye and pike and stuff,
Mhm.
but yeah, I haven't.
Another popper that acts been pretty good is the Strike King.
Yep, I've got a Strike King. I don't think I threw that one this year, but I have in the past. Another good one. This one's pretty cool. I like that little Pop X.
Yeah, it's just pricey. I kind of hate recommending Megabass stuff to
Ugh,
people, but
18
Yeah.
bucks.
Ooh, I like that one. Yeah, they have cool stuff out there. I do think their stuff is definitely overpriced, but all the JDM guys are gonna argue it with me, but I still think they're overpriced.
yeah, they are. Pay for the
Uh,
name on most of them.
Yeah. Arashi, yeah, the cover pop. I've heard that's a really good one. I've thrown it in the past. I haven't thrown it as much lately, but I've heard from a lot of people that that's still their go-to. I've got some that I like better. I really like walking a popper, I guess. So trying to find one that's where you can slow bloop it and walk it. I'm a real big fan of walking the popper. So Michael asks, Nate, you were bougie with your rods. What are your reels of choice?
Oh man, I almost don't even want to say.
Uh-oh.
I have a few zillions.
Hey, all right. I'm not mad
Probably
at that.
that honestly might be my favorite, like all around casting reel. Probably my favorite spinning reel that I own right now is a Shimano Vanquish. It's a JDM reel, but it's pretty insane. It's like, I don't know if you need to go any higher in price. With that being said, it's pretty expensive, but I think for the money, you're not gonna find a better spinning reel unless you, for some reason, you just want to spend more money.
Yeah, and that's the thing about fishing too, is everybody, does their own thing. Some people like the high price stuff. I dabble in a little bit of everything, so I don't ever
And then,
get mad if somebody wants to spend their hard-earned money on something they like.
or if you want to be a little too bougie, you can buy an Exist. But
Ooh,
I don't
not a used
ever
one.
recommend that for anyone. I bought that on a ridiculous sale.
Gotta have fun with it.
Yeah.
Let's see. There was a good question here. Older Polos are good. Yep, still one of the OG best ever is the Pop-R.
Paco says the Papa Waka 6-inch.
Oh, whoops, not that one.
So
Santa, a baitcaster guy. Yeah, I would assume Santa's probably a baitcaster guy.
Will actually said something. He said, I have to have a tail feather. I'm assuming he's talking for poppers. Do you guys ever throw a popper without a tail feather?
Yeah. I'm still not a firm
Really?
super believer. Yeah. I guess it depends on how you're fishing. If you're popping it and letting it sit more, then yes, I think it definitely makes sense. If you're walking it and then just kind of pausing it, I don't think it makes a difference.
I feel like it's such a, I don't think I've ever fished one without a feather. So at this point, it's just a confidence thing with a feather.
Mm-hmm.
Klaus is a dial fan. I'm kind of a Daiwa fanboy. I love Daiwa.
Oh,
I'm still waiting.
same.
I'm still waiting for Daiwa to reach out to me so they can get me on there full time and just talk about stuff. I don't know what I would do, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the call. It's coming. Let's get a giveaway going here. We got 160 people watching. Let's do a giveaway. Yeah, a giveaway.
Oh,
And it'll be whatever. How is there a fruit fly in here? It's freaking winter.
flute fly.
Fruit fly. Flip.
I have no idea. Debo, I have no idea why it just popped in my head, but the day that we almost permanently lived out on the water, out on the frozen lake.
That place was awful.
It was Debo, myself, and his dad, and we all had our tents. Not really thinking of it because we weren't really thinking of it. When we went to the water, you had to go down, I don't know, maybe a 20-foot elevation drop from the top of the hill down to the water. But it was one of those situations where it was cold, warmed up a little, and then snowed again. So there's like a layer of ice. Literally, all of us were trying to climb up this hill and couldn't. Like, literally, you were sliding down, even with cleats on, your boots, the whole nine. It got to the point where we were like, abandon the sleds and just try to make it up solo. And somebody finally got up when we used like a chain to, like, not a chain, but like we pulled each other up somehow.
I think it was a pole strap. I think it was one of my toe.
Yeah.
One of mine or dad's toe straps.
It was semi-panic inducing, honestly.
We thought we might live out there for the rest of our lives. We couldn't get up this freaking hill that was like this, trying to get out, trying to pull our huts out. Oh my gosh, it was rough. It was rough. Hey, if I had a snow dog, I could have just towed us all out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
The tent, the huts, even though it's on like a sled, basically a toboggan type of sled, they are kind of heavy. Once you're
Especially
all
when you're
down
pulling it uphill.
Mm-hmm.
Like on flat ground, you don't like it's pretty good, but once you start going uphill with sleds and stuff, you you have to
Mm-hmm.
work for it.
Yeah. And you know,
I think we
take into
have
consideration you have a flasher. Flashers are oddly heavy because I mean all it really is a giant battery and a
balls.
deucer, you know, all it is.
Balls. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
hold that thought. Hashtag cold. Only
Hashtag
70 people.
snowdog.
We got 170 people watching, only 70 entries. It will be whatever you choose. You can just tell me some stuff that you need, some lures and stuff. I'll hook you up. I'm gonna put this on pause for a second. I need to bring you this important bulletin that I just found.
Breaking
Let's talk about
news.
snow dogs. How cool would it be? how, how cool would it be to have one of these? No, I don't want to send you a message. Look at this. Just DEBO out here towing everybody around. Oh, I wonder if they have sales at the expos. Maybe it'd be worth going up to an expo to get a snow dog. Look
How
at
much
that. They're
are
only
they?
Jesus.
5,000.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's not bad. Get on a payment plan for that.
Ooh.
What would that be? What would
Mr.
that be if
Sully
I
said
if
train
I
Stubby to be a
was
sled dog.
dude, he hates the cold. He's out for about 2 seconds and is at the door scratching. He's a sissy.
If everyone donated $30 that it's in the chat now, we could get you one.
200 bucks a month. If I get a 2-year loan on that, $5,000 is only 200 bucks a month. Hell, that's a steal of a deal.
And just think, you know, you could always get where you needed to go in the wintertime. No more ice.
Keep that in the
delays.
back of my truck in case I get stuck anywhere. I can just snow dog myself out. Let's
You
look at
go
more
into the
pictures.
ditch.
Look at how much better of a time these people all had before
all
they went
happy.
out there. Yeah, they were not smiling.
And-
Now that they have snow dogs, they're all smiling.
Yeah, go back
They
to
didn't
that
even
picture.
catch any fish. All these people skunked. I just read in the comments below. All these people skunked that day, but they had such a good time on their snow dogs.
Go
They
back
were
to
all
that picture. All of those people right there have on like bib and coat combos that are like $1,500.
Yeah.
Dang,
They
this
can
guy's got
afford
like
the
a
snow
decked
dog.
out run and gun thing. He's got electronics on it.
That would be one
Oh
of
my
those
God.
things where it physically pains you to buy, but after you bought it, you you would never regret it.
Yeah, I need to get the hookup. Somebody's got to find somebody that works at Snow Dog so they just give me one for free and I can just tool around on it. All right. Anyway, going back to the giveaway here. 96. I have 96 people in here. We got to get over 100. If we don't get over 100, I'm not giving crap away. Got to get over 100. What else do we have for questions? Let's see. Can Stubby handline a bass? No, he's useless when it comes to fishing. Training to be a sled dog. Nope, he hates the cold.
Oh, how much were those, Debo?
$5 grand.
Five. I just found a website. I mean, if you want to go all the way to PA, you can get one for like $4.
Oh,
Extra
probably some
1,000
old
off.
used ones or something. Yeah.
No, it's actually basically looks like the exact same thing.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's got a track under it. It's basically got like a snowmobile track underneath it.
It's basically a stand-up snowmobile.
It's like a mini tank.
Buy it and the temps will rise. Hey, you can use this. People use that to drag their deer out. You can use it. It doesn't have to just be ice. That's the other thing too, is you can run these on dry land.
That would be
Use it
big.
to pull deer out if you're in. Guess you can on public land, but we can do all kinds of stuff. I could have videos where I'm just driving around random places on my snow dog. 10,000 views right there. 100,000 views easily. Yeah, snow dog's a bargain at any price. Yeah, even at $5,000, that's a steal.
Jesus.
Okay, we need 2 more entries. What the hell? 163 people in here.
Ooh,
98
Debo,
entries is all.
they have a plow that you can put on the front of your snow dog too. You want to use it for
Hell yeah, I can plow the driveway.
clearing snow.
Dude, it's better than a snowblower.
You're like, that's it. I'm selling everything I have to get a snow dogger right now.
Hope Ollie's has them on sale. Yeah, we don't have any Ollies around here. Okay, we just hit 100. All right, let's pull. Let's pull the winner. Winner. Lure.
Must be present to win.
Stuff. Dinner. Yeah, must be present to win. If you're in Canada, I'm not sending you anything except a high five. And you have to email me a picture of your YouTube so I know it's you. Hey, Bass AF. You've been commenting all over tonight.
Yeah.
Bass, and look at
Thanks.
that. The most recent comment, Bass AF Plow King. A la
King.
The
You know what
Simpsons.
that means?
The Simpsons. When Homer gets the plow. You took his earbud out, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, he was Mr. Plow and Barney was the Plow King. Damn.
Lures. Okay, Bass AF, you need to please email me at
Oh, everyone's saying he's Canadian.
Oh no, is he really?
I'm Mr. Bass AF. Are you Canadian?
Is he really? How do
Let's
people know he's
see.
Canadian?
I don't know. He's in
They're
Texas.
just trying to get you to redraw.
Eighth wonder of the world.
He's in
Victor,
Texas. We're good.
I read that too. Oh, he's in Texas.
Send an email to DEBO'S fishing at Yahoo, Google's, Gmail. I'll put your email address back up real quick, Debo.
Oh, I thought I did. Wait, what?
No, you took it.
I have
There you go. Send an email with a screenshot of you to make sure it is you, because people try to steal from old Debo.
Yeah, trying to steal from me. Imagine that. What the hell? Come on, people. All right, what else we got for questions? Yes, we did determine that the snow dog is one of the wonders of the world.
Calvin at 851 asked about the Daiwa Exceller.
I've never used it. What was the question?
Or he asked about the new one. My cousin has the old one, and I've actually used it a lot just by stealing his rod. But it's actually really nice for $100, so I assume the new one can only be better.
How much is that one? I'm trying to think what price range that is.
The old one was 100. The new one is like 100 to 120. So.
Okay. Yeah, I should pick that one up. I've always used the Fuego at $100, and that's always been a solid one for me. Oh my gosh, where did my comments go? Click the wrong button here. Do I continue to throw the slobber knocker, or what chatterbait do you mainly throw this year? The jackhammer and the Evo were the two that I threw basically all this year.
Same.
Slobber knocker, I liked it. I didn't have those. Oh, and the first gen, the Copperhead, trying a new one out. Clicks on the BBs. Actually, I've completely forgot about that one. Clicks on the BBs, loud sound, kind of cool, a little bit different. That one was a cool one too, but definitely for dirtier water because it's pretty loud. But yeah, I still like the slobber knocker. People hated on it. People hate Berkeley, but I feel like it did better around wood definitely than other chatterbaits, like the regular chatterbaits, unless you have an actual weedless one. But yeah, I liked it. I had 2 really good days with it last year. A couple videos on it. Let's see. There was another question here. Oh, Calvin, for the flashy swimmer 4-inch, was it the 5/0 or definitely not the 3/0? It was either the 5/0 or.
Isn't there a 4/0 flashy swimmer?
They skip sizes. That's why I have to look. I want to say the 5/0. I'm pretty sure 5/0. Final answer. 3/0 would be too small on that one. Let's see.
Yeah, they don't have a 4/0.
John says 3/0. Okay. I don't know if I still have it down here. I'm pretty sure it was the 5/0 though that I had on it that I liked better.
I feel like the 3/0 has a really small gap. I rigged it up.
Had like a tiny hook.
Yeah, I've only ever used it with Kitex, not the Mayer, but I know the Mayer's even has a bigger body, so I personally feel like the 5/0 might be better, but if John has actually used it, then I would go with him.
And I just put all those in my kayak. I was cleaning up. I had a bunch of flashy swimmers down here.
Okay. John Long says it gives it more action and it's not too small.
Oh, okay. Well, I would say either one then. I'm pretty sure I used the 5/0. I was throwing around heavier stuff though, and I think that one just had a little bit, yeah, like you said, a little bit bigger gap, a little bit bigger hook. But
okay.
Pat, I'm not the guy to ask on A-rigs. I've thrown them and I have no confidence in them. Either Bass Dope's little finesse one, or there's another guy that makes one. They're like the real finesse ones.
A micro?
Bass Geek told me about him. Yeah, it's like another small one. It's not a micro, but it's Shane's Baits. That's the other one. So either Chatterbaits or bass dope. Look at both of those.
Yeah, I've casted them, never caught anything. I just gave
Okay.
up.
I have like randomly caught on them. I think I had a live target one when they first came out. It was smaller version, and I caught like one dink on one, and I was like, "Oh, what am I doing? What did I even do?" But everybody says run them just like a spinnerbait.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't have confidence with them. All right, let's do 2 more questions. 2 more good questions, and we're getting out of here. Kara missed the giveaway was feeding the dog. What do we got? What do we got for questions? 2 more. 2 more good questions. We're rolling.
I mean, I answered it in chat already. Who was it? I think it was Gators Adventures asked what kind of boots we wear. I personally just wear for ice fishing anyway, I wear muck boots with I don't even know what kind of cleats they are. And when I say cleats, they're just like a big rubber band almost that just go over the top of the toe and over your heel, and it's got some pointy metal on the bottom so you don't slide as much.
Yeah, mine are Baffins. I don't remember which one. They're definitely a little bit more expensive, but totally worth it.
Do you have a harness for your sled?
I do. Yeah, I did end up getting a harness. Yeah, so like this is one made
for the win. Yeah.
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 I can imagine.
Basically, you put it on like a backpack.
You're pulling out, and stuff like that. But these are like padded for actually pulling, your because they have like the cheap ones, I guess I should say, where you put it over your shoulder like a cross one. But I got one where it's just like this, slip over. That way, if anything starts breaking, you can just move your arms and let it fall off. I would hate to have that attached to me and have that go through the ice and then
it might float
for a little while. I hope
be a little buoyant. The only other thing that I would, as far as the ice fishing goes, that I would recommend is a hard rod box. In the past, I've had like it was just a fabric zip up rod carrier. I would definitely recommend the like a hard outer box. What's that brand that we have, Debo? Is it a Plano box? Plano rod one? For ice fishing rods. You know, your hard exterior.
Oh, my hard case?
Yeah.
God, I don't remember what brand.
Is it Plano?
No, it wasn't Plano.
But I would recommend those over just like a regular fabric, because ice fishing rods are tiny and you're gonna break them.
Yeah, having a carrier is definitely worth it.
I've rarely broken a actual open water rod, but I mean, I've probably broken a dozen ice fishing rods.
All right. Well, on that note, Dizzle's a behemoth and just breaks stuff left and right. He doesn't know his own power. We're getting out of here. I do want to thank everybody so much for joining, hanging out. Oh, we just got.
Hey, yeah, let's hold on a second.
Speaking of Bass Dope, as I was saying, go check out his little micro A-rig. He's got some good ones. Just threw in some memberships. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that a ton.
Amazing. Sweet. Awesome.
All the members that just became new members, welcome. I will have some members only coming down the pipe, couple videos, and I want to do the lives more. And I need to do it on a different night where it's like just like an hour members only, where we just chill and hang out and talk. Kind of anything goes, doesn't even have to be fishing. But anyway, do want to thank everybody for watching tonight. I'll be back next week doing more fishing talk, hopefully with updates on how I caught 75 fish and having a huge fish fry tomorrow, and fishing was good. Hopefully, well, I don't know, but anyway, love y'all. Thanks for watching. Nate, thanks for joining us. I appreciate you hopping on.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. It's fun to actually like nerd out on fishing tackle.
Yeah, dude, that's what it's all about. We all just love fishing. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Until next time.